lecture. Okay, but we are going to discuss very, very important things today. All right. And there are many questions which almost everyone has before learning Selenium, that what is the right way of learning it? How much time is it going to take me to learn it? So I'm going to discuss everything out here. Okay. So generally before starting the training, right, everybody wants that what is the right way to learn this tool? And is actually Java important, and should I be learning Java? Well, the answer is yes, you should be learning Java. Okay, you cannot run away from Java. Okay, the more time you give to Java, the easier it is to learn this tool. Along with the training, we give access to lot of video tutorials if you enroll. In those videos, Java is also covered. So you can also learn Java from there. In the training, I will keep take up Java, but not that elaboratively as it is inside the videos. Right. Sometimes people come to the training who have no background in programming. Okay, if you are a person who has never ever done programming, if you even don't know what for loop is, what if statements are, okay, then you should not join the training directly. You should first watch the videos, get some background, and then join the training. That will be really, really helpful. Okay, because Selenium is a tool which is completely made in Java. Okay, and you when you learn this tool, you learn Java, and once you learn Java, the added advantage becomes that learning other tools becomes really easy. For example, if you have to learn Appium, or if you have to learn Appium is for mobile automation. Okay. Or tomorrow, if you have to learn REST Assured, which is for the automation of REST APIs. Okay. Or any other tool which requires Java, then learning other tools also becomes really easy if you have a background in Java. Okay. So this tool certainly is not something which you can do without the knowledge of Java language, and we will be learning Java in this training as well. Okay. Now, another thing which generally people come to me and ask me before the training is that how much of the time will we be requiring to learn this tool? Okay. Look, generally I say that fine, if you just have to learn it for the matter of like understanding what the commands are, firing basic commands. Okay, then I think just 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you can be ready with basic Selenium. Okay, you can start writing commands in Selenium. But if you want to learn how to work professionally, like if somebody gives you 1000 test cases to automate with Selenium, okay, then to reach that level, to reach a level of a person who has say 2 years experience in Selenium, it takes nearly 7 to 8 weeks minimum. Okay. I mean a level where you can go and clear an interview. Okay, it takes time. Even after the training, you would feel the need to practice. Okay, it's not that just by attending this training and coming to the class, you'll be able to learn. No. Okay, there is a lot of practice which is needed, and I will be sharing a lot of exercises with you and quizzes with you, which will help you learn this tool in a better way. All right. Now, before we move further, is anyone having any questions? Please ask me. You're free to ask me. You can unmute yourself. You can ask questions, or you can also type down in the chat. Anyone with any questions? Anything?
Hello, sir. This is Apeksha. I just wanted to know that are we going to learn Java also in the Selenium in this batch?
Are
Because
we?
I
Are
have gone
we?
through Java about Java. Are we going to
Yeah.
discuss about Java concepts as well?
Yes, I'm going to discuss the core Java concepts.
Okay,
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 but in the videos they are discussed in more elaborate manner. Okay.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So
So Ashish, please share the links for these videos where these videos are available. So it will be
you will
good for
get a
us.
link, you'll get an email for this.
Okay.
You'll get, okay. Now, look, the most important thing is, let me tell you, like, it is like the stages are that of learning Selenium, the stages. Okay, you have to learn Java first, then you have to learn Selenium commands. Okay, then you have to learn a unit testing framework like TestNG or something, which actually this thing TestNG or JUnit or something. These help you to build test cases. Okay, and then you have to implement the tests. These are the stages. Okay, look, first two things, three things anyone can do. Okay, the internet is full of material, the internet is full of information. There are things on YouTube. Okay, so if you just want to go and find how to work with different Selenium commands, you can do very easily. Okay, the major problem lies in the implementation of the test cases. Okay, the reality, the practical stuff. All right, like automation script. If I talk about building automation script, that fine, there is a scenario, say you have to go and uh, you know, let's take up this scenario that fine, you have to hold on. You have to go to a website like booking.com, and the test scenario says that fine, after going to booking.com, you need to select that where you are going, right? Say you are going to some place and your check-in check-out dates or something and you are searching for hotels. Okay, so suppose you have to automate this search functionality. Okay, to just enter the place where we are going, the check-in check-out dates, the number of adults and children. Okay, and to click on the search button, it just took me hardly 20 seconds. But if I have to automate this scenario, okay, it might make take me 2 hours to build the script. Okay, for which it took me nearly 20 seconds to automate. Sorry, to do manually. So script building is a difficult thing. Not a difficult thing, but it's a time consuming thing. Okay, something which can be tested manually in 20 seconds. Right. To build a script for that scenario, it might take you 2 hours. So that is why, automation, if you talk about, it's something which is always preferred on stable projects, regression phase of the testing. Okay. Look, if the project is unstable and if the UI of the application or the business logics they keep on changing, then changing the automation script is quite a difficult thing because it consumes time. It might not be difficult, but it might be something which will take a lot of time. And time, of course, means billing to the client, billing to someone at least for whom you are building the script. And nobody likes that. Okay, no client wants to pay extra for, uh, you know, uh, for changing the scripts or something like that. So it becomes really tough to manage clients in automation as well at times, because they think that fine, it's just taking me so less to test it manually. Why is this guy taking so long to build the script? Okay. So the decision whether a scenario has to be automated or not, that is also a quite a critical decision because of the time and the costings which are involved. Okay. Another thing which is most important is that the way you build the scripts. This is just an introductory class. I am not going into Java straight away. I'm not going into Selenium straight away, but you should be knowing like where you are heading and what you need to learn, in which way you need to learn. Okay. So over here, the most important thing is again, way you build the scripts. Okay. Now, what do you mean by this? Let me take up few practical examples with you. All right. Now everybody knows, I hope you know basics that, the components of Selenium, right? Everybody must be knowing like what is Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver is basically a tool which has got commands to automate the browser. It can go and open the browser. It can go and click on the links. Okay, it can go and do anything on the browser. Okay, without any manual intervention. All right. There is also something known as Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid is something which will help you to run the test cases parallelly. Because if a client comes to you and tells you that fine, let's build a framework, let's build a project, and you realize that you end up making around 1000 test cases in the project, which takes a lot of time to execute. Right. So we use Selenium Grid and we use a central machine, make other machines the nodal machines. Okay. And run the scripts parallelly. Okay. The central machine is known as the hub. We keep our code on the hub, and these are known as the nodes. And the scripts they run parallelly, and we save a lot of time. Now, the thing is, it's very important the way you build the Selenium scripts. Sometimes what happens is that the client comes up and tells you that fine, these are the test cases, please automate them. And then you automate the test cases. The project is delivered. After 1 month, the client comes and tells you that, okay, please go and automate these tests on Selenium Grid. And then you realize that the way you made the scripts was in such a way that they could not be run on grid. Okay, then you have to rewire everything. You have to redo all the stuff. Okay, and that's not something which is good for the client as well. So it's very important that the way you build the scripts, okay, they should be like they should be easy to change. Fine. I'll give you a practical example. It's not, the way you build the script, it's actually the problem comes up majorly in 90% of the projects I've seen. The problem comes up with the changing client requirements with time. This is the major thing. Okay. Like, what do you mean by changing client requirements? Let's take up this example only. I have to click on the search button, right? By entering the name of the hotel, the check-in date, checkout date, and the number of adults and children. I have to click on the search. So I automate this search functionality. I build the code. Okay. So in the phase one, say 1st of February, I get this requirement. Okay. And on 10th of February, I end up doing anything and I deliver this scenario there where I go and search for something. Right. Okay. Now, after that, the client says that fine, please include this checkbox as well in the search. On 1st of March, client says that please include this checkbox as well. So you end up writing the code for this as well. You manage to change your code and everything. Okay, right. And you again take some time and then you deliver this particular stuff to the client. Then on 1st of April, the client again comes up and tells you that fine, um, if the make sure that if the user is from India, then the cities of India should be displayed over here. If the user is from US, then by default the cities of US should be displayed over here. Okay. And here you realize that to do this, it's very simple for you to think that fine, you just have to put some few checks. But then you realize that the way you had done the engineering for this, the way you had made the code, it's quite tough for you to incorporate this change. And here is where the problem starts up. And it takes a lot of time. And maybe you have to overhaul your complete code in order to incorporate this change. So that becomes a problem. This is the major problem in automation. The client changes the requirements, changes the websites, and it creates a lot of problems. So you have to build the script in such a way that, or the test cases or the Selenium script in such a way that it is flexible to change. These are the challenges. Okay, learning Java or learning Selenium commands, these are nothing. Okay, this is not a challenge. This is something which requires time. You will fall into 5 errors, 6 errors, 7 errors, and then you will actually come out of those errors. Okay, it will take you around 6 to 7 weeks to make a ground for yourself. And after 6 to 7 weeks, maybe another 4 weeks to actually come over to a level where you can actually think about these things, what I'm telling you. Okay, right. Now, let me delete this. Let us keep it anyways. Okay. Now, if you talk about the components in Selenium, the way you need to learn them, okay, what all you need to learn in Selenium, right? Now, if you consider that these are the Selenium tests, or you can call Selenium scripts, okay, this is my test case number one. This is test case number two. So there are different test cases. Fine. And when you have to run them one after another, there can be more such test cases. Now, when the test cases are running, okay, you need to generate some HTML reports. The reports should have everything. They should have logs, they should have screenshots of the errors and all everything, so that you come to know that for every test case there is a report and you come to know that what happened when the test case was running, what thing went wrong, what thing went right. Okay. And then you should be having your data. Your data should be read from some external file like some Excel file or JSON file or properties file. Look, generally we don't hard code the data inside the scripts. Okay, right. And we hold on. We don't hard code the data in the scripts. We actually put the data in the Excel. We put the data in the JSON. Okay, and we put the data in the properties file and we supply it to the test cases. All right, and then the next thing is that when the scripts are running, okay, when everything is running, you also might want to integrate Selenium Grid in order to run the scripts parallelly, or you want to integrate the scripts with the continuous integration tools like Jenkins and all everything. Okay, right. And to do all these things, you need to have a central controller in between. Okay, this central controller is known as TestNG, or people also use JUnit or something. Okay, look, the thing is, out here, if you talk about Selenium as a tool, then Selenium as a tool has got on the commands which will only interact with the browser. Okay, Selenium will not has got no commands to generate some reports, to read the data, to manage Grid or Jenkins or anything. Okay, Selenium is just a simple tool which has got commands which will help you interact with the browsers. Selenium cannot build test cases. Okay, it is something like you are here uh, to learn how to make a car. Okay, and Selenium is just like the engine of the car. Okay, but you also have to learn how to make seats, how to make the driving steering, how to make the wheels and all everything. Okay, Selenium is not a complete tool in itself. It is just a tool which will interact with the browser. And to build the test cases and to write the HTML reports and all, we use TestNG. Okay, so TestNG builds the reports, it reads the data, it connects with Grid and then with the Selenium test cases. Okay, right. Now, out here, this is done. Right. Okay. Now out here, let's understand how to make this whole thing in one go. Okay, look, this thing is not something which you can achieve in one go. You have to learn this thing first, then this TestNG, then building reports, data, and you have to learn each of these components separately and then integrate all of them. So we'll do that. Let us start now. Okay. The first thing is you have to install Eclipse. Okay. Is there anyone in the training who has not got Eclipse installed? You can install it from the Eclipse website. It's an editor for Java language. This is Eclipse website. You can download Eclipse from here. Okay. And you can open up Eclipse. It's an editor. Some people use IntelliJ as well. You can use IntelliJ as well. Okay, it's completely your choice. Right, hold on. This is the workspace window. Okay, this is the place where Eclipse stores all the code. Right, D drive Ashish workspace, and then you can mention the name, that is, say, Selenium weekday, and this is the June batch. So this is the place where we will store all the code in the training. Fine. And you start this up. Close this screen. So this is the window. Okay. Now you can build a new Java project over here. Okay. And we'll go day by day. This is the first day. So just a day project, day one project. All right. And you create a new class known as Selenium Basics. And inside it, this is the command to print something in Java. Most of you must be knowing about it. Hold on, I'll increase my font size. Just hold on. Yeah, I hope this is clear now. Right. So out here, if you want to print something in Java, the command is system.out.println, and you can run the program from this run button over here. Okay. What is main? Main is the starting function. Every programming language has main. What is static and all? Gradually these things will you will understand. Okay. Now I am assuming you know basics. You know what integer is. You know what are basic integers, what are strings. Okay. And right, and you know what a Boolean variable is. Boolean is something which can just store true or false. Okay, you know the basics. Basically, I'm assuming that you know what if statements are, what for loops are. Okay, because this is there in every programming language. What our motive or what our goal out here is to basically learn about oops. Basically means object oriented programming. Okay, right. So because the complete nature of Selenium or the complete architecture of Selenium is OOPS based. And we'll be starting off with OOPS in the training. Fine. Um, if you go to this website, the official website of Selenium, selenium.dev. I'm sorry. You go to the download section. Okay. Look, there are two versions of Selenium on which you can work. One is 3.141.59. This is the most stable version of Selenium, And most of the companies they work on this. Okay. Then came the beta version, 4 beta. It's in the beta right now. It is quite unstable. All right. We'll use 4. That's not a problem. And I'll also tell you the differences between 4 and 3. But this version is not stable. Although Selenium 4 has come up in the market. Okay, but it is not stable. If you have a project to do, then I would always recommend you to work on this particular version. Okay, now if you scroll down, this is a table because like look out here, it's mentioned that Selenium is available in these languages, and for Java language, this is the API doc. API doc basically means the documentation. This is the official documentation of Selenium. You've moved to the frames view. You won't be able to understand this documentation well if you are not aware of object-oriented programming. We will be referring this documentation quite frequently. Okay, right. Now, um, if I go back to Eclipse, right, the first thing which you need to do is that in Java, you need to learn object-oriented programming. Now, what are objects? What is object-oriented programming and why is it required? Okay, it is required because this complete architecture or the complete documentation is object oriented. Okay, everything in Selenium is inbuilt. There are commands. Okay, there are commands which you need to learn that how you need to use those commands in object oriented manner. What do I mean by saying that there are commands? Like, for example, if I open a command prompt, and if I give a command that echo percentile time, so this prints the current time. So this is a predefined command, right? Okay. So similarly in Selenium also, there are predefined commands which you need to learn. Okay. The first thing is that you need to download the dependencies, the jar files for Selenium. Now, what is a jar file? This is again uh, a again a concept. Okay, because if I go and click for the Java version, if I go and click on beta download over here, okay, I will be able to hold on. I'll be able to download this. This is the folder. Okay, and if I open the folder, right, and if I extract it over here, right. So these are the different jar files for Selenium. Now, what are jar files? There is no exe for Selenium. Okay, look, if you go to this project over here, day one project. All right. If you look at this is JRE system library. This is nothing but Java which was installed on your system. Okay. If you expand this, you will have different jar files over here. Okay, these jar files has got commands and classes which can be used in order to save your time, or they have got predefined features. For example, if I write over here new date, okay, you import the date class. To import it, the date class is present somewhere inside these jar files, and if I run this command, it prints the current date and time because of this command. with the time zone and all everything. So every time you run it, it's going to print the current date, time zone, everything. So you never had to do the hard work in order to print this text. Somebody has already made a feature for you and you have already used it. Okay. So these features were there inside these jar files. Similarly, these are the Selenium jar files. There are jars in the lib folder as well. Okay. So you just need to import these jars in the project in order to work with Selenium. All right. You right click on the project, go to the properties. Fine. Right click on the project, go to the properties, go to Java build path, go to libraries, add external jars, click on this and go to the folder and select all the jar files. Okay, all these jar files and click on open. Also select the jars which are there inside the lib. Don't forget to select the jars inside the lib folder. So here we go. You will have this section reference libraries generated inside which you will see all the jar files coming up. Now your project is Selenium enabled. You can start building or start writing the Selenium code. But in order to write the Selenium code, you need to understand object-oriented programming. So we'll start off the course with object-oriented programming. Fine. We can include the Selenium jar files in the project quite easily. Okay, that is not a problem. There is no exe for Selenium. But to use the features of these jars, like I used the date class or something, you need to learn this. Now, object-oriented programming is nothing but it's like object-based. I hope many of you might have done this as well, but we will go slow on this so that you understand what this is. And today I'm not going to start off with it. Today was just the day one. I'm not going to take a continuous 1 hour class. Okay, it's just an introductory class. Let's stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask me anything from the course